I did a short the other day talking about how more DMs should try doing imperfect worlds, that you should embrace making your worlds flawed, having things that didn't quite fit in it. And someone quite rightly asked, well, what does that look like? As a new DM, what can you do to embrace the flaws? So I thought I'd do a little bit of a longer video and think about that. So to recap, I spoke about how as a writer or a DM for a TTRPG, you should try putting flaws in the world you design. Things that are obviously not optimal, not pretty, not ideal, and that you should embrace that. I briefly talked about brutalist architecture and how it's a good alternative to the kind of crystalline, perfect fantasy structures that you kind of want to describe when you're describing a really cool world. And there are similar flaws you can put into your world that are like this. Instead of a leadership to your civilizations that focus on making the best world possible, make the right choices, make them flawed. I wonder what that's like. But I'm not talking about evil mustache twirling things. Like, don't make them bad guys, just make them flawed. Or perhaps they're poor at keeping up certain basic ideas, such as their roads suck. Seriously, if you threw in a description of the road being poorly maintained as the players travel through them, the players will pick up on it and they'll be like, why? And that's the attitude we're looking for here. We're looking for things that are going to make your players engage in the world more closely. Going back to the question more broadly, what other sort of things can you put in your world that's going to trigger that response where your players want to investigate more and learn more? You could have an NPC that teaches the party loads of cool abilities or teaches them about the world and is really kind to them. But then you could see that they're bad at taking care of themselves or are simply just unorganized and untidy. It makes them feel more real because no one's perfect. You're not going to get a perfect teacher who can do everything you want. Another really fun place to implement this is magic items and equipment. Think of the coolest and best gear you can, but think of a way you can make it a little bit worse. So maybe a sword that gives your player loads of powerful benefits. They're able to cut through anything, but it can't cut through wood. Suddenly that magic item doesn't become less useful most of the time, but it just has a little flaw that makes your players go, well, why would it not cut through wood? And by raising that question, your players want to learn more. Everything you do should be small and nothing should be so consequential that you change the storyline. So again, just as I was saying about villains, these problems shouldn't derail what you're creating. Instead, they should focus on just widening what they are. You're expanding something to become three-dimensional. Anyway, I hope that helped. And if you like TTRPG tips, as well as sometimes dipping into critical theory and such like, follow along, and I'll see you in the next video.